Hey, gang, what's going on? What's going on? I am your girl, R.S. Lewis, a.k.a. the Insomniac Writer. It's been a minute since I've been doing this. We got a whole new look. Now, if you are somehow, some way tuning into this on YouTube, I apologize if you got multiple uploads. The Single Chronicles podcast has an RSS feed or whatever, and that feed automatically pulls from Spotify. So when I upload an audio file or video file, whatever, it naturally just goes to all the platforms. So Apple Podcasts, Amazon has one, iHeartRadio. So when those podcasts come stream, oh my God, this light is so bright. When they come over, you get just the audio file. But with that being said, the way it works now is that I can do video and audio. So right now I'm on Rivers something. I don't know what the hell this damn app is called, but that's what it is. So so let's get to the Single Chronicles. We got season 6. Yes, I'm hyped. I feel like I ain't did this shit in a long time, but I'll be rambling online any fucking way. Might as well get something else out of it. Now, I have a few topics. It's not just one. There was one that was called Am I the Asshole? And it was, I saw it on Reddit. And it's kind of like falling into, they got the leopards ate the face. Yes, this is kind of political, but it's not. And then it's like, am I the asshole? And the guy, it was a guy and a girl, and the dude didn't want to bring his girlfriend around his parents. His parents is very conservative, MAGA folks, Republicans, which fine. Hey, listen, my grandparents, I grew up in that household. Everybody had some things that made them either left or right, but I grew up in a very conservative household, old-fashioned Christian household, so I can relate. But his girlfriend was very liberal, very left-leaning, and it wasn't like back in the day liberal. It's like today liberal, and a lot of conservative people ain't like that. A lot of back in the day liberal people kind of have still conservative mindsets because that was the lifestyle that they was raised in. A lot of them, not all, some. And basically, his mindset, I'm going to try to look at this real quick, but I'm trying to pull it up on my computer. And it was like, am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend not to share her opinions with my conservative parents? And no, you're not the asshole at the same time. I mean, they ain't been together. They ain't like they've been together a whole lot. It says it's been together 6 months. So I'm going to read a little bit of it. I'm going to leave their names out. For about 6 months, she's a very opinionated woman. She studies political science and is very informed about everything that's happening. I love to listen to her political rants and so on. Recently, we decided we're ready to take the next step, introduce each other to our families. She introduced me to hers, and it was a delight. I kept topics like politics and religious to myself, and so did they. Always smart. Things you don't do on the first date or at a bar. Politics and religion. Leave that shit at home. Wait, that's second date stuff. Or, if you already been talking yet. My thing before I finish is like, if you are far left or far right and you meet somebody who's the polar opposite of your, political and religious belief and stuff like that, maybe it is a good idea to steer clear. That's just my opinion. Maybe y'all got some shit in common. Y'all might like horror movies, or y'all might like art, or y'all might like outdoor sports, or some shit like that. I don't know. Y'all might have enough things in common to make it last, but in today's climate, ever since in the last 10 years, politics has become so polarizing that it's left or right. Like, I'm not a conservative person, not by a long shot. I do have conservative ideologies that were bred into me as a kid, and then I also got some more liberal ones. Like, I grew up, obviously my grandparents were more kind of on the old-fashioned conservative side because they were Christians and stuff, but they was black, so a lot of that they actually were in the civil rights movement. It wasn't like they just was just there. They were in it. Like, I had relatives that met with Dr. King and he was in the church that they was at attending and stuff like that. Like when he was here in Philadelphia, you know, there's a lot of stuff like these ain't like my family ain't some, you know, like just I know about it. Okay, I wasn't technically there, but they was there and they raised me. So you know, my mom and my girl, it wasn't like this was like 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago. This was not that long ago. So anyway, moving along. That being said, even though I steer clear from some of those thinking points and some of those beliefs, I still have some of that in me that because it's just the way it is. And that's nothing wrong with that. But the point is that some people are so far one or the other, you know, you shouldn't date somebody that's so far. Because y'all going to do is fucking argue. You're just going to bring tension to your relationship. And I'm not talking about people that kind of like off center. I'm talking about people that are far. Like when you start talking about, I don't even want to get problematic, but I had a friend who she dated a liberal guy. And I mean, he was one of those like white liberal dudes, like really like, you know, very, very liberal. And he called her a cis woman. And she was like, the fuck is that? Like, she cussed him out. She was like, the fuck is that? Like, she really didn't know. He was a white liberal and she was a black chick. She was kind of liberal. Like, she was like, you know what I mean? Whatever. Everybody should have rights type person. Like me, you know, I think everybody should have fucking rights, period. I don't give a shit who you are. But anyway, she was like, the fuck is this woman? Don't call me that. Like, she really got mad because she didn't know what it was. And then when she found out what it was, I think that made it even worse because she was just like, I'm just a woman. Why are you calling me that? And then so if a guy like that was dating like somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, would that work? Hell to the fucking no, because she's a very conservative woman and he was a very liberal dude. So, you know, he's one of those types of people when he hears something he don't like, he sighs first. So it's like, anybody that's that far either side to me is a red flag. I'm sorry, you can't be too far anything because life isn't black or white. It's not two polar opposites. Sometimes it's in the middle somewhere. We gotta have middle ground, and I think that's the problem. People don't have middle ground. But anyway, back to this. So my homie, he, you know, so we're going to finish it. Then Friday was my turn. My parents are Christians and rather conservatives. I don't agree with many of their POVs, but I don't try to bring it up. We sat down to eat. My parents asked normal questions and asked if she goes to church on Sunday. My girlfriend says that she's an atheist, so it would be hypocritical. I squeezed her hand a little because for me, a simple no would have sufficed. Now my mom was debating her and it managed to drop the issue. But then my dad made an offhand comment about how he agrees with something Trump said, and then my girlfriend started as a statement as offensive. Soon they were discussing it all, tried to make her stop, but she wouldn't drop the topic. When we left, I told her we should keep her opinion. I told her she should keep her opinion to herself when we see my parents. Politics and religion have nothing to do at the dinner table. She called me an asshole, left alone, and hasn't talked to me since. Am I the asshole? Edit. No, I didn't tell my parents. I respect them enough, and the conversation was never unpolite. It was very tense, but in her defense, she never raised her voice, and neither did my parents. Edit 2. I don't remember which statement they were talking about, but it had to do with the Turkish. So this is an old one, actually. I ran into this because this was a conversation I was having on a live, like chat or whatever, and it brought me back to this, and I think I had this like saved in my favorites on Reddit, and I just never went back to it. But this was during like the first. This was after Trump's first. I think this was either right at the end of his term or right before. So we were like maybe pre-COVID or post-COVID, if I'm not mistaken. So I want to say, yeah, this is 2020. So this was actually the beginning of 2020, and according to what I'm looking at here. And with that being said, like I said, in this situation, I don't think he's the asshole because that's his parents. At the end of the day, this is where my conservative side kicks in. I don't agree with everything my mom and my dad or my grandparents believe. But at the end of the day, I grew up, you respect your fucking parents, period. I don't have to agree with everything they say. I don't have to like any of the shit they say. But I got to respect them because they're my parents. And a lot of times people forget that because they have this thing where they're like, well, They not gonna tell me da 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 da. And as long as it don't get disrespectful, that's fine. Like, it's not that deep that he's the asshole. I don't think he is. He should have prepped her like, yo, my parents are really fucking conservative. And if she's been with him for a certain amount of time and she already know the deal, then she should have been like, all right, I like you, and I see that you don't have those thinking points. So, all right, maybe this could work. Because the relationship is not with your fucking parents. It's with the person that you with. It's up to you to ask those red flag questions about who you're with, not just their parents. And then you could dive into the relationship with them, but at the same time, it's like, all right, let me see where this is going to go. Like, let me see if us as a couple works. Because if it don't, then let's just not waste each other fucking time. And I think that's where I was at with dating before I started really kind of getting into the seriousness of it. And then I just got to the point I was fucking, I don't even want to be bothered. But that's another story for another day. You supposed to pre-game some shit, okay? Like, when my friends used to come over my house, I'm like, listen now, all right, my grandparents is cool. We could play in my room. You know, they ain't gonna really bother us like that. So we could play video games. We could watch them. It's like, I always had the tech and the gas. Because my grandma and my grandpa, he was born in like the early 1900s. And when I say early 1900s, 1915 and 1918. So they didn't know anything about none of the tech stuff. Like, they knew about TVs. And my grandma could kind of work the VCR just a teeny bit. But they really wasn't tech savvy. So when I was buying my little Sega games, they were like, what are you playing? What is that? Why is the TV always on? I had to learn how to pause shit and turn the TV off so I ain't lose my spot. My millennials and my fellow Gen Xers know what I'm talking about. But my friends was cool with that. But my grandma had this very distinct rule. We couldn't play cards or anything with dice because to her that resembled gambling, and gambling was a sin and was wrong. So therefore, we couldn't do that. And I used to tell my friends, we can't play that. And they were like, what about Monopoly? No, that got dice in it. Well, what about Uno? No, that's like, there's not gambling cards. And I tried to explain it to my grandma, but she wasn't feeling it. And I had one friend that was just like, why we can't play it? It's not gambling. And she wanted to like proceed to try to explain. And that explaining kind of felt like debating. Because this is like the early 90s, late 80s. And my grandma was not feeling that expert. Like, my grandma just barely let me get by with goldfish. And the only reason why she let me get by with a goldfish game was because it was like some learning game I had to do with my prayer partner from school. Yeah, that's how conservative and Christian my life was. I had a prayer partner. They teamed up to like the older classmen with the younger classmen, and we had to do this thing. But anyway, moving on. I had a friend, I had to tell her that, like, yo, we can't, this is what we can do, this is what we can't do. So if you want to play Monopoly and Uno and this is what we doing, we got to take this to your spot because it ain't happening at my spot. And that's my grandparents wasn't there. And one time she was there, she came home and I thought she was out. She was at some church function that was supposed to last until all night. And I'm thinking, oh shit. She walks and she sees that we caught red-handed with the cars. And she with the community chest cards and the money. And she sees the dice and she went ballistic. So anyway, you got to prep it's the pregame. You got to prep them. That's what you got to do. So you was wrong for that one. The girlfriend, she was just, I think you dodged a serious bullet because she was ready to debate somebody. And I understand you are very much entitled to your opinions, to your thoughts, and how to feel how you want to feel. Nobody should ever take that away from you. But at the same time, he said that the conversation didn't get there. But if your parents' thinking is their thinking, fine, so be it. But if it's problematic, that's when you got to say something. Now, everybody knows. Nobody's saying, honestly, you can say what you want to say. I'm not a Trump person. I can't say if he is or isn't racist, but I will say that his rhetoric, it speaks to a lot of people who happen to be racist. So we're going to say that. I'm trying to just stay PC here. So with that being said, sometimes you got to school people because they might say something that's problematic, but then sometimes they might say something that they don't know. Like, they don't know what systemic racism is. They don't know about how economics trickles down, how one thing you do now can have an effect on you later. Like, if I get a credit card today and I max it out and I don't pay that bill, okay, guess what's going to happen? For 10 years, I'm going to have this on my credit report until, even if I pay it off. So today is what? March 2025. If I pay that off, I still got to wait until what, 7 to 10 years before that, those late payments actually disappear. And trust me, I went through that personally. So I try to make sure and I pay everything on time, even if I'm broke. But a lot of people don't understand that. And what we do today will have an effect tomorrow. What we do for the environment has an effect tomorrow. And you can't be a person that says, I care about the kids and I care about in the kids' lives and stuff, but you don't want to ensure a future for them. That doesn't make sense. It's like, let me not have a life insurance policy for you or whatever. Like, I don't understand how you, a parent, don't have a life insurance policy for yourself or a will, because that way, at least that much, you might not, I'm not saying you got to have all the other stuff in place. At least have a life insurance policy. Like, I don't be understanding that. That's another thing. How you know what I mean? Fish fries and GoFundMe's and different things that people done had because they ain't had no insurance. Yo, insurance is like, you can get a good policy if you fairly healthy. If you not, like, you don't got no pre-existing disease. I'm talking about the average Joe. No pre-existing diseases. You don't smoke or drink heavily or anything like that. You're not like super big, obese or anything. You can get a good policy for like $5 a month. Maybe less than that. $10K, maybe $20K for like $5 a month. I don't know. Like, that's just an average. That's like if you in your 20s, 30s. And this be people that be kind of like a little older than that. So you should know better. I had to tell my pop that, yo, dude, you damn near 70, bro. Why you ain't got no fucking insurance? What's wrong with you? You think I'm paying for your shit? Because I'm not. Yeah, he got that insurance. Well, guess what? You be in the backyard. I'm not. I ain't got money for that. Got you in some insurance. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get it. You've been procrastinating all my life. That's nothing. And he got it because I wasn't lying. I will put you in the backyard. Something. That's not legal. I don't care. Well, figure it out. But, yeah, dating and policies, you got to be careful. And that goes with everything. Sometimes you got to look past the surface. Like, yeah, we got chemistry. Oh, she's beautiful. He's handsome. He makes me laugh and he's fun to be around. All right, take that away. When all that, like when the seriousness of things get around, sometimes if a person has these mindsets, oh yeah, I want you to be conservative. If that's not what you want in life, like if you don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, don't date a guy that wants that for you. Like, I want to be in charge and I want to lead and I want you to submit. And If that's not your mindset, don't date a guy that's like that. And also, guys, don't date a girl that isn't like that and that's what you want. You setting yourself up for stress. I don't understand. Like, I've seen so many guys be like, yeah, these girls don't want to submit. But it's girls that are willing to do that, who actually want that don't mind that. And they just look past them. Oh, well, she not what I'm looking for, you know. And what are you looking for? Oh, she got to have a BBL. Them regular girls ain't getting no BBL. They just a plain Jane. Some of them, I don't know. But if they do something, come to my class. I got gluteal building glutes classes, build the glutes for you. And then you ain't got to worry about a BBL. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's just the life we're living in now. Politics plays a big part in dating and a person's mindset because, to me, it's not like a super, super big deal, but I think it opens the door to someone's thinking mindset. Like, and I'm going to get to this fuck around and find out situation that we're in. Like, just the other day, this lady wrote some ignorant shit on a receipt. Like, she went to the Consuelos, it's some Mexican restaurant. And then she wrote on a receipt, no tip, poor service, whatever, you suck or some shit. I hope Trump deports you. That's not the first time I've seen some shit like that. Like, first and foremost, if you don't like Mexicans, the fuck you eat Mexican food for? Like, I think Trevor Noah said it. If you are racist against a certain group, you shouldn't be able to partake in their food or culture or anything that they have. You just shouldn't. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. It just don't sit right with me. I just, like, for a person to do that, you got to be the lowest of the low. Like, if you don't like black people or Spanish people or any of that stuff, and you be like, I don't even want to eat their food, I'm not supporting them. You know what? At least you are standing in your racism. But you not going there with that mindset, and then you go and turn around and write some ignorance and not tip the person too. Now, I don't know if the service was good. The people so far say they've never had any bad service and yada, yada, yada. But I've had some shitty servers and I've left a very shitty tip. I've had good servers and I left a good tip. Shoot, I went on a date once and the person didn't tip right. They left like a $4 tip. The food was like 60. It was like almost $100, and he left like this $4 or $5 tip. And I was like, so I was like, oh, you know what? I gotta go to the bathroom. So he went outside because I didn't really want to embarrass him like that. And I gave the lady a $10 while she came back because she was. And and then what made it worse, she was bussing the table too after we left. So it was like, damn. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't even notice he tipped that little bit, but here's like $10. Here's something. It's not much, but she was like, thank you so much. It was all crowded and she doing all this stuff. I just was like, that was the last date that we had. Needless to say, I was already on the wire if I wanted to be with men again, and that sealed my deal. Not saying all dudes is like that, but that one just put a bad taste in my mouth. Anyway, moving on. Y'all have heard that story before. Ain't the first time. But she fucked around and found out she done lost a job. She tried to go and fake it. Talk about, what she say? Oh, somebody stole my credit card and they ran up these purchases and da-da-da-da. And I was like, all right, let's just see if that's true. You all on the CCT footage. Black person invented that too, by the way. Happy post-Black History Month. If you don't like black shit, don't listen to a black person. That's another thing that I hate. I got a YouTube channel. Obviously, always had a YouTube channel. People have said racist things, but here you are. You could always scroll, look away. You don't have to interact with a person that you don't like. There's certain, that's like, I'm not going to say I don't like people that's not American or not black. Like, I've watched trailers. I do trailer reactions, and I'll get a trailer, and it's not in English. I can't find subtitles or dub versions of it, so I don't watch it, because 9 times out of 10, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm not going to sit up there and blast it like, why is this on my American internet, and I can't see it? YouTube is an American company, internet stream, something. This shouldn't be on it. No, motherfuckers, this shit is worldwide. Like, motherfuckers say the most retarded shit. It's like always the dumb people that find a reason to be racist. I've seen a few. Like, the nationalists, some of them kind of make some sense. They just like, we just want our race to survive. But the rest of y'all motherfuckers to be retarded. Moving on. Yeah, she fucked around and found out. And she lost her job. She done got, and it didn't take her long to get doxxed, but it happened. And like, they be cracking me up, the people that put themselves in these predicaments, and they get into this victim mindset. Oh, I didn't know, and I'm sorry. And I think the lady really did. She probably had those thoughts in the back of her head. Obviously, she probably felt that way. Got the bill, because bill was kind of like $80-something. Shit is expensive. Yo, blame your homie. This shit been trickling down for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Like, the shit trickles down. So anyway, she probably was mad at the bill. I don't know, but it happened, and you get drunk, so you kind of lose that filter. That, all right, I don't want to say this how I really feel, because I might lose my job, or somebody might punch me in the face. Whatever. So those things tend to happen, and when they do, you're like, all right, I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to say how I really feel. Like, I don't really want to say the N-word with a hard R to a black person and I'm not black, or I don't want to call this person a racial slur or a slur to their sexuality or gender or whatever, because I know it's going to get me in trouble. Most people are aware of consequences, but when you get to drinking, you don't give a shit about the consequences, because you're not thinking that far ahead. Your inhibitions have been lowered, or sometimes fucking diminished. That being said, you gotta evaluate why you really feel the way you feel, and really start to think about that. Because a lot of times when you ask people why they're racist, they really can't give you a good idea of why they are. They really can't give you a good explanation as to why they don't like anybody that don't look like them. And I'm like, it's just a sad mindset. So back to dating and how this pertains to the Single Chronicles, my thing is if someone does not share your viewpoints, listen, and there's some people that don't really care. They really just look at somebody's looks. I've had people who are like Southern Confederate flag wearing, almost bordering on white nationalist, racist type people that were like, oh my God, you're smart and you're pretty, and Oh, it's and they're like, how about we get some, we get to know each other better, and like, is this really happening? Is this a real thing? Like, dude, what are you? No, I ain't going nowhere with you. I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I'm not trying to get hung from a fucking tree somewhere. You really think I'm gonna date you and you got a whole Confederate flag like in your profile picture? That's what you do it? Like, no, no. And they were like, no, I'm not like that. I have my beliefs. Well, my beliefs I don't look like I line up with your beliefs. So there's that. But that's what it is. So it'd be weird to me. Like, it's another one. That guy that does the right wing conservative dating. Like, I don't know. He always sit down with some food and then he'll ask this question. And he was on TikTok. And he was like, he worked with Trump during his first term and he be saying stuff. But anyway, a bunch of liberal girls who's like half his age then came out with receipts and screenshots. This motherfucker all in their DMs. You wanna slid on these, but you don't like these types of females. The fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't be understanding that. And I guess a guy mindset, they'll be like, all right, well, this is just somebody I want to smash. She cute. I'm not really trying to date her. That's not what those DMs depicted. These DMs depicted like, yo, he really trying to secure you with a bag just to get a chance. Not even actually do anything, but to get a chance. He's willing to spend money to fly you out, fly you back, give you money, set you up in a hotel, buy you whatever you want just for a chance. So obviously that's why I don't be believing a lot of the shit I see on the internet, because my motherfuckers will pretend to be something that they not. They'll just post. It ain't what it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be accountable. It's supposed to be a fraud. So yeah, it's funny. Like, I have trans female friends, and some of the most like, I don't want to say political, conservative, right-wing people be all up in their shit. Like, yay, I want to do this. Another one. Who's that guy? The guy that assaulted that little boy a couple months ago? My man is on an S&M site that he wanted a dominatrix. He wanted the chick, and he was in the butt stuff and all types of, yeah, my man was really, he married. He got a whole wife. And he got that look where he probably did have some. I never really got the chance to check out his profile, because by the time I found out his story, he done already done got his shit and like basically destroyed his little business on Yelp and everything else. But he had that look where he wasn't no liberal. I could tell. You could tell who some people that are and who aren't. You could tell some people that was like, it's three types of people that are out there. People that would vote for Kamala, people that did vote for Trump, and people that was just like, I don't want to vote for neither one of these motherfuckers. And one of them that just said, all right, Jill Stein. I fell for that the first time. But so with that being said, and this is not to come down on anybody that is right-leaning or conservative. Like I said, my mom is a Republican. I don't have no smoke with her. Her thing is that she want to have, she's very big on the Second Amendment. And that's what right-wing Republicans are for. They trying to keep their guns. And I feel that you should keep your guns. But I also feel that you should have the right to pop a baby out your coochie if you don't want it. Sorry, that came out right. No, you should just have the right to just, not saying do whatever you want to do, but you should have the right to body autonomy, especially as in relation to your health. You should have the right to protect yourself. You should have the right to say things that aren't harmful and mean to other people, but in the same token, defend the things that you believe in. You can defend your white nationalism without coming off racist. Maybe, I don't know. You ain't got to go around talking about I hate niggas. And then, but you could just say, listen, I want my race to survive, because the way these numbers is looking, we ain't happy. It ain't working. And for the last couple of centuries, we was running shit. We was pillaging and doing our fucking thing. And now look at us. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Listen, if you are fully left on the left and you want to date somebody fully on the right just because you think he hot, he got them tattoos or something, and them shirts at the gym he been wearing looking good, that's on you. You fucking around and find out. If you want to date somebody that has that in common with you, I suggest that. Like I said, I'm not saying it can't work out, but you're going to run into these problems. Like I said, the young boy, he was not problematic. Those are his parents. She probably was just being a little extra. I think he dodged a bullet, but at the same time, you should have prepped him like, listen, my parents are very old-fashioned Republican conservatives. If you don't think that you're ready for this, let's make up a reason for you to not go and just say you got morning sickness or some shit, or you got Ebola. I don't give a shit. I'm not saying a lot of the parents, but just say you don't feel well and we can redo this and prep. Like, come up with the game plan. Like, you know, like they playing football, like here with the offense. All right, my mom is going to ask you something about kids. You could da-da-da-da-da. My dad is going to ask you about, like, they asked about the church name. You atheists, like, I have friends that are atheists. They're like, no, I just don't go to church. I don't really do the church thing. And once they dive into that, they just say, I'm not Christian. Leave it alone. Because I've had people do the same thing with me. Well, are you Christian? No. Are you Muslim? No. I'm a Jew. Well, what did they start talking about things about Jews that are really stereotypes that have shit to do with me or fuck all to do with me at all. And I did that in the water. We're not here to talk about that. You want to hear about when I go worship, or do you want to eat this damn food? Like, it don't matter. People are always going to find a problem with stuff, and you got to just learn how to either block it out or just not engage and not give people a reason to argue. But that's really all I wanted to say today. Like, I had some other topics, but I think I'm gonna save them for another time. This was fun. I'm glad to be back. We'll do a writer's reflection next week. I said what I had to say. That was my writer's reflections, my accountability quarter. Thank y'all for tuning in. Definitely. I gotta play with this a little bit more. I'm kind of bummed that I lost all my little sound bits and stuff, but it's all good. It's all good in the mother effing hood. That's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in for another episode of The Single Chronicles. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have some topics, am I the asshole, or you have a confession, or you want to just shoot the shit, you have a topic, or you want to be live on the show, well, not live, but a recording, let me know. Oh my God, my back is itching. I have KT tape on my shoulder and back, and it's in a spot that I can't reach, and I've just been dying. I know y'all didn't ask for all that information, but if you're watching this video on Spotify or YouTube, it's like, you're like, what the hell is you doing? My baggage. So, that's it. Anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here. If you are, again, listening on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified of other videos and stuff. If you're listening on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or anywhere that you stream podcasts, make sure you favorite, save this podcast so you can come up and be notified of other new episodes as they arise. And go back and listen to the archives. Because, yeah, I was on to something back then. At least I think I was. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Be awesome, be you, but above all else, love yourself. Take care. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to the people. I logged back in for the first time. Like, I haven't really even been logging in on the site to get the analytics. And I'm like, yo, people still listening to me? Some shit from like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Like, I ain't been in doing this in the studio in like over a year. But, you know, I've been doing other stuff not related to the Single Chronicles, but like doing the YouTube stuff. And I'm like, damn. But then I looked at the analytics. I was like, yo, people are actually really still listening. Not a lot. Obviously, I ain't doing Joe Rogan numbers. Well, Joe Rogan ain't doing Joe Rogan numbers. But still, the point is that I think we onto something here. So anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here for real this time. Again, lastly, I'm going to give y'all them salutations again. Be awesome, be you, but above all else, love yourself. I know, I'm sorry. I'm hungry. My stomach growling and everything. All right, my stomach's saying, bitch, shut up. Shut up. Get your ass off the damn thing. All right, let me get out of here. Take care. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Again, tell a friend, share, all that good stuff. And we out here. We out. All right, we out. I'm going to shut up. For real. I am sad and so